Thank you for joining me tonight. So tonight we're going to work on a little kind of restore. We're going to work on our hamstrings and our quads a little bit. So we're going to actually start on our back. So come on to your back. And as always, we kind of like to start with our breath. So feel free to move around your shoulders a little bit. Maybe move around your hips a little side to side. Just kind of wiggle into a nice position where you feel nice and flat onto your mat. Hands can maybe rest on your lower belly or just fall along your side. Just start to find that breath. So feel free to close over your eyes or keep them slightly open. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then a nice long breath out through your nose. We'll take a few more nice deep breaths in. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Long breath out, slowly let it go. Good. Another deep breath in. And gently let it go. Good. And find a nice rhythm to your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. See if you can let your shoulders relax, rest a little more into that mat. Let your hips and your back sink down just a little more, finding that little more release. Feel that sense of ease wash over your body, nice and calming, nice and relaxed. You can gently open your eyes. Let your right leg go nice and long into the mat. We're going to draw that left knee in toward our chest. Hands can come over your shins. You can also grab onto the back of your thigh. If you have a yoga strap, you can place a yoga strap over your shin. If you can't quite get your hands over that shin, if that doesn't feel good, just gently rock that knee from side to side. We don't want to roll onto our side. We just want a gentle rocking back and forth. You can hug in the knee as much or as little as you wish. Come back to center. Extend that left leg up toward the sky. Feel free to have a little bend to your knee. We don't want to lock our knee out. We want a soft bend. And you can bend it as much or as little as you want. Grabbing to the backs of the left thigh, we're going to draw that thigh in toward our chest. We'll start to play around a little bit, so flex your toes toward you. And just kind of see how that changes the stretch. And then point your toes up toward the sky. You can continue with the flexing and the pointing of your toes if you want, or you can just let your ankle be still. Feel free to circle out that ankle if that feels, well, good too. Release from the back of the left leg. We're going to roll onto our right side. So roll onto your right side, keeping that left knee bent and bringing that left knee up toward the chest. Right arm extends long. You kind of lift up to bring that shoulder blade back down. You can extend that arm long, having your head rest on your bicep, or you can cradle your head and let that left knee kind of fall down. If you have a block, you can place a block underneath that knee, just keep it a little higher, or a pillow. Adding on if you want, that right leg, we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the right heel back. Keep the right knee in line with your hip. And if you want to add on a little more, take that left hand, grab onto the right foot, and draw that heel in toward your seat. But again, keep that right knee in line with your hip. You might find if you move that right knee forward, you completely lose that quadricep stretch. Good. And release. Let both legs go nice and long. We'll come onto our back. And move around so you're nice and stable. Lift up the pelvis and bring it back down so your back is nice and flat. Keeping the left leg long, bring that right knee in toward your chest. And grab across the shin or the thigh, or again, grab a strap or a towel or anything if that feels better. Gently rock that knee just a little side to side. Let's come to center, extend that right leg up toward the sky. Again, find that little bend to your knee. Grabbing behind the right thigh, draw it in toward your chest. And start to explore with that flexing and pointing of your toes. Good. Feel free to circle out that ankle maybe a few times. Good. Release from the back of the right thigh. Roll onto your left side. Bringing that right knee forward. Good. Left arm can go nice and long. Head can rest on your bicep, or you can cradle your head. Left leg is in line with your hip. Right fingertips can come forward in case you feel like a little wobbly, like you're not quite stable enough. Feel free to stay here or bend that left foot back, keeping that knee in line with your hip. Adding on, right hand grabs onto that left foot, drawing it in toward your seat. Just keep with that nice rhythm of your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Keeping your body calm enough to just release any tension or stress you may be holding on to yet today. Good. Slowly release that left leg. Let your right leg go long and come onto your belly. So roll right onto your belly and make your way to tabletop. So we're going to come on up. Bringing the knees underneath your hips. Walk your hands so your shoulders are right above your wrists. If this at all bothers your wrists, you can either make fists with your hands or you can come down to your forearms. Cat and cow, so take a nice big breath in, drop the belly, raise your gaze, lift your sit bones up nice and high. Exhale into that cat, so round the back up toward the sky. Separate the shoulder blades, tuck the chin into your chest. We'll do a few more of these, matching our breath to our movement. Nice big inhale into cow. And exhale into your cat. One more, nice big inhale, cow. Drop the belly, lift the sit bones. And cat on your exhale. Tuck in that core. Come back into your tabletop. Nice flat back, core is slightly engaged. Extend your left leg back so your toes are onto the mat. And then we're going to lift that left heel up toward the sky, or in line with our hip. Bend that left foot up toward the sky. So you're flexing your foot. Good. Lengthen out the leg. And then flex the foot back up toward the sky. One more time, lengthen out. And flex. This time we're going to lengthen out and then tap your toes over to the right side. Come back to center, flex your foot up toward the sky, lengthen and tap over to the left. Good. We'll do one more each side. So flex up, tap over to the right, flex up, tap over to your left. Good. Flex one more time up and come back into that tabletop. Feel free to sway those hips a little side to side. Recenter. Good. Other side. Right toes go long. Keep the toes onto the mat to begin. Shoulders stay stacked right above your wrist. Lift that right heel up toward hip height. Find that pelvic stability so we're not opening our hip or dropping it down. We want it nice and even. Keep that core engaged to keep that nice flat back, so you don't want your chest to dip down. Good. See how that leg lifted as well? Keep it nice and even. And then flex the right foot up toward the sky. Good. Keeping the right foot flexed, extend the leg. And flex. Good. Extend. And flex. One more time, extend long, straight behind you. Flex up. This time extend, tap it over to the right side. Flex back up to center. Extend, tap it over to your left side. Flex up toward the sky, center. Lengthen, tap to the right. One more time over to left. Flex, lengthen and tap over to your left. Flex up one more time, and then come back into that tabletop. Again, feel free to sway those hips a little side to side. And then come back into that tabletop, that nice flat back. Take a nice gentle cow, nice big inhale. And exhale into your cat. Good. Come back to tabletop, walk your hands out and come down onto your belly. So slowly lower yourself down, legs are in line. Feel free to move around on your mat so you're nice and centered. Taking baby cobra, bring your hands right by your ribs to your lower ribs, elbows tuck in nice and tight. Take a breath in, lift your chest, drawing those shoulder blades together. We'll take a few breaths here. Good, take one more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down. Good. And relax. You can keep your hands where they are. Take a nice breath in. Nice breath out. On your next breath in, you can either take that baby cobra, or we're going to come into a full cobra to start with. Shoulders right above your wrist. Knees are down. Feel free to stay here, or if you'd like to take upward facing dog, lift those knees up. Keep those hips kind of working down. Keep with that nice rhythm of your breath. And let those legs relax. So if you kind of felt like a little tensed up a little bit, see if you can soften. Good. And then slowly come down. Let your knees come down. Let your pelvis come down, your belly. You can stack your hands at the top of the mat and just rest your forehead down for a moment. Take a few breaths in here. Bow is next. So if you'd like to take full bow, you can bend both knees. Grab onto the outside soles of your feet. I'll do half bow. So I'm just gonna grab my right hand to my right foot. Now if you're pregnant or don't wanna be on your belly, you can come into tabletop and just do cat and cow, working that spine that way as well. Draw your shoulder blades back to center. Left hand plants down into the floor. Take a breath in. Nice breath out. On your next breath in, come into your full bow or take half row. So push your feet into your hands to lift your chest, also lifting your knees slightly off the mat. Left elbow can stay bent, or you can straighten out that arm to lift your chest if that feels okay on your back. And keep with that breath. And breathing in and out through your nose, nice and relaxed. Good, slowly lower down if you're in full or half bow. Bring both hands to the front, bending both knees. Windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Just find a little release in that lower back. Good, come back to center. If you're taking full bow, you can keep both feet lifted. Otherwise, if you're taking half, let's extend that right leg long, right hand onto the floor, left hand reaches back for that foot. Draw your shoulders back to center. Take a breath in. Just a nice breath out. On your next breath in, come into your bow. Whatever variation you may be taking, pushing your feet into your hands to lift that chest and lift that knee just slightly. You can extend that right arm to lift a little more. Take one more breath in. Exhale, slowly release down. Bring that left hand forward, bending both feet. Windshield wiper those feet from side to side. Come back to center, let those legs go nice and long. Come into downward facing dog. Plant those hands, lifting your chest, and then lift your hips up and back. Take your time here if you need to. Coming out of that bow, your back neck might need a little more time to adjust as it moves. So feel free to take your time or maybe stop in tabletop before you come to that down dog. Pedal out those legs a little bit. Come back to stillness in your down dog. Take a breath in as you lift onto your tiptoes. As you exhale, push your heels down toward the mat. Inhale, lift. We'll follow our breath. Exhale, push your heels down. Inhale, lift. Push those heels down toward the mat. Go ahead and stay here. Let those heels work down. Take a nice breath in. Empty out. Step your left foot forward behind your left wrist, coming into a low lunge. Bringing the right knee down, untuck the right toes, and then walk your left foot a little wider to give space for your chest to come down. So both hands can stay planted onto the ground, or you can use a block, or you can be a little higher, placing your hands on that thigh. If it feels good, shift your hips a little forward. Feel free to move around that left foot, whatever feels most best, comfortable and stabilizing for you. Stay here for a moment or two, just letting the hips come down and feeling the stretch in the top of the right leg. So feel free to stay here if this works for you. If you'd like to take a little more of a quad stretch, place that left hand right in the middle of the mat, kind of making your center of gravity right there. Bend your right heel toward your seat. And you can stay here as well. So feel free to stay here working that right heel toward your seat. Or take that right hand, so you can grab that right foot, and draw it a little closer in. If this at all bothers your knee, it's too hard to surface, you can roll up your yoga mat or grab a blanket or a pillow. Good. Let's take a few more breaths here. Let that body relax. Let your legs soften. Good. Let's release that right foot if you had a hold of it. Bring both hands back down to the top. And then walk your left foot in line with your hip. So you're gonna have to lift your chest a little bit to get it more in line. Half splits. Walk those fingertips back. Bringing your right hip right over that right knee. Don't let it come behind. Keep it right stacked over. If you feel like you can extend your leg, but kind of forcing yourself back, just lift that heel and bring it a little forward. Good. Flex your toes toward you. Feel free to stay a little taller in your chest if you want, or you can kind of hinge at your hips, bringing your chest down. Taking a few rounds of breath here. And if flexing your toes toward you kind of creates a little too much tension in that leg, that it just doesn't feel quite right, you can let your foot relax. You don't have to flex your toes. Just sometimes gives a different feel, kind of explore how your body works a little bit more. Good. Let's walk our fingertips forward. Bring that left foot back, coming back into tabletop. And sway your hips a little side to side. When you're ready, make your way back to down dog. So plant your hands, tuck those toes, lift those hips up, and then shift them back. Let those heels stay working down toward the mat. So if you want to bend one leg at a time, kind of working one heel at a time down toward your mat, you can. Good, come back to stillness in your down dog. Take a nice breath in. Empty it all out. Stepping your right foot behind your right wrist. Coming into that low lunge. We'll bring that left knee down, untuck your left toes. Then walk that right foot a little wider and give you space for your chest to come down. Feel free to stand on those tall arms, or if you have a block or anything that gives you height. Or you can bend your elbows back a little bit, kind of working back toward that back foot to bring your chest down a little more if that feels good. We want to concentrate on lengthening out that left leg, so the top of the left leg. Feel free to stay here. Or if you'd like to add on, bring that right hand right to the center of the mat. Bend that left knee, reaching that left heel toward your seat. Left hand can grab onto that left foot and gently draw that in toward your seat if you can. Take a few more breaths here. And release that left foot, let it go long. Walking the right foot in line with your hips, so lift up your chest. You can walk that right foot a little forward, and then come into your half splits. Again, stopping when that left hip comes right over that knee. Lengthen out the right leg, and feel free to flex those toes toward you, or let your foot relax. You can also hinge more at your hips and bring your chest down. Stay with that nice rhythm of your breath. Gently walk your fingertips forward, bring that right foot down, come into tabletop. So bring the right foot back and take what you need here. Kind of sway a little side to side if that feels good. Then when you're ready, we're going to roll onto our back. So come onto your back, hug those knees into your chest, nice and tight. Rock a little side to side, massage your back. Let your body just start relaxing down onto your mat, feeling nice and heavy. Let your arms come nice and wide to a T. Draw those knees right over your hips and drop them over to your right side. Gaze can drop over to your left. Shoulders start to melt down into your mat. Just let them relax. Let's draw our knees back to center. Feel free to do a few gentle rocks. And let both knees fall over to your right side. So to the other side, gaze drops to the left. Back to center with your knees, and just let them sway a little side to side. You can bring your arms more alongside your body, palms face down, face up. When you're ready, let your feet come down into the ground and come into your Shavasana, so your resting pose. So maybe here is good. Maybe you want to rest on your side today, or let your legs go long. Just let your feet splay open, let your arms feel heavy. And just let your body relax down into your mat. So let's take one nice deep breath in. As you exhale, find that release. Your body just melts down. Let it relax and feel heavy. Just come back to that soft rhythm of your breath. Gently start to deepen your breath. Awakening your body, adding on some small movements. Wiggle around the fingers, maybe move around the toes. Circle out the wrists and ankles a few times. When you're ready, draw both knees into your chest and roll onto one side. Make your way to an easy seat. Keep your eyes nice and heavy. Place both hands onto our heart. Let your eyes be soft. Your shoulders are soft. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Long breath out, nice and slow. Let it all go. One more deep breath in. Fill up your lungs. Again, slowly let it all go. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you guys. Let me know if you have any